right, hello everyone, and welcome to the For Further Details podcast. I am one of your hosts, Matthew, along with my co-host.
I'm Noah.
And we are here to start a podcast. So basically what this first podcast is going to be about is an introduction of who we are. We're going to talk about our lives and like our childhood and growing up together. So yeah, we grew up as best friends. When did we meet? What was it?
Well, we met in like third grade.
Third grade. Wasn't that like Awana's?
Yes, at Awana's.
Awana's, but we
just
didn't...
we like just passed by each other pretty much.
Yeah, we didn't ever talk to each other. Awana's, for everyone to know what Awana's is, it's a church sort of.
It was like a Bible kind of. It was like a kind of like a youth group thing.
Yeah, like a youth group for like,
elementary school. Yeah.
And before that was like, did you ever do Cubbies?
I didn't do Cubbies.
I remember Cubbies when I lived in Glen Allen.
No.
And I remember just going to Cubbies and just being so upset because my best friend was there and we never got to like go to the same classroom. So I would always just like sit in the corner and cry. I don't. Is Cubbies and Awana still a thing today?
Oh yeah.
I want to Google that later. I haven't been to a church that does that in forever.
I know Cool Spring still did it, but whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever.
The churches out here in South Dakota, the only thing they do is Caritas. Everyone does Caritas. And Habitat for Humanity. I remember one time I was at the park late at night, and it was past dusk or whatever, so apparently you can't be in parks past dusk, but I didn't know this. So I was just walking around with some friends, and then we came back to our car, and there was a cop there. And I had like a crowbar and like an axe in my car, just from Quinn and Travis. They left it in there from Mall Cap Monday, which I'm sure we'll get into greater detail later in this podcast, but the cop's like, "Why are you out in the park?" I'm like, we were just walking. We're not doing anything bad. He's like, "Why do you have a crowbar and axe in your car?" And I was just like, what did I say? Habitat for Humanity. Yeah, I left that in my car, and I was just helping people. He's like, "Oh, I love Habitat for Humanity. You're free to go."
Oh my god.
So that was pretty good.
How do you get out of anything? Charity.
Charity. Just say you're working for charity. What do you have a gun?
Charity.
Charity.
It's for Red Cross,
Yeah, just like all those live streams that YouTubers do where they just do ridiculous things.
Yeah.
Oh, it's all for charity. Read fan fiction for the kids.
It's for the kids.
All right. So, what was our first elementary school class we had together?
Fifth grade.
With
Miss Loving.
Yeah. And didn't she get married?
Yeah, she got married.
She's now... I guess we probably shouldn't give out her name, but... And whatever.
Censor that. Or whatever you want to do.
Whatever. I mean, it's just a name. Everyone has names, right?
Whoa, we already gave out a lot of details.
Yeah, that's true. First names, it doesn't matter. Just last names is when you're getting into tricky territory. But that... Do you have any...
It's already a mess.
Yeah. Do you have any specific memories for that class?
Oh, I have a ton.
All right. Tell me a story that really sticks out in your mind.
Well, obviously sugar cubes.
Yes, that's the first thing I thought of.
Yeah, like there's nothing that is more defining of Matthew than sugar cubes in fifth grade.
I remember all the sugar cube like castles that were out there.
Oh yeah.
In the hallway, and I would just like take the sugar cubes off of their creations and just eat them.
So like this kid, he would bring like a bag of sugar cubes to school and just eat them.
It was just great.
He just ate them. So he got the nickname Sugar Rush.
Oh yeah, Sugar Rush.
Because of this. Which that died down, unfortunately.
It did die down. Once we got... I'd say, how quickly did that die down?
It was probably halfway through middle school.
Yeah, I'd say. Once I started taking Spanish, a lot of people started calling me Mateo.
Yeah. I like Sugar Rush the best, though.
Yeah. It's iconic. I remember an ice cream party we had in that class. It was towards the end of the year.
Yes. And you just put sugar cubes on it.
Yeah. And I went like crazy around the classroom. I was like super
Yeah, you were like
hyper.
running around and like John was trying to control you.
Yeah.
Like trying to like Keeps
Oh
you
man.
from flipping out.
Oh man. What a
Oh,
great memory.
oh, fifth grade.
Was I bringing raw ramen as a snack too that year? Is that fifth grade?
Probably. I think I
I
remember something like that.
I remember the best after school snack. It was raw ramen noodles. You just take them right out of the packet, and then you would also have high C like in the little juice boxes.
I remember you had high C all the time
High
too.
C is great. I
High
since
C
I
and Orange Crush.
now that I eat super healthy, I miss those things so much. It's sad. We also
So,
had our friend Andrew.
ah, Andrew.
Andrew, we haven't seen him in a long time.
He goes to West Virginia now.
Does he?
Yeah.
Okay, I'd think he'd go to like Penn State just because that's
Yeah, I know.
he's
I mean,
obsessed.
he lives by where I am now though.
Okay,
So
yeah.
try to talk to him.
I always see his pictures on Facebook and stuff. If you didn't know, Andrew is one of our friends who used to live where we lived, and he went to school with us. When did he move?
uh, End of seventh grade,
In
summer
this.
after seventh grade, I believe.
Okay, yeah, I remember that. That was sad.
Yeah, dark times.
I would always walk to his house because he lived
Times.
like 2 blocks away, and we'd always play football in his cul-de-sac.
Yep.
I
He was the angry
yep.
Phillies Eagles fan.
He was all about that stuff. All right,
He
let's.
hated his team more than anyone else.
Yep, yeah, basically. So let's think about middle school here. Middle
Oh
school.
God, let's not.
What a treasure trove of memory.
Oh, let's not think about middle school.
Middle school is everyone's awkward stage, really. Like,
I think it's for me. It was like middle school up until like the end of sophomore year. Like
Yeah.
I didn't like really hit puberty until junior year.
yeah,
That was really sad.
I don't know when I hit puberty. I think I hit puberty before I lost weight a little, but
Yeah.
I don't know, I can't really remember my life before I lost weight. It's kind of hard.
Even though that was most of your life.
Yeah. If people don't know on the podcast, I lost 100 pounds about I think 2 years ago now, right?
Yeah, it was 2 years ago.
So I lost a ton of weight. So now my lifestyle is completely different. I go to the gym all the time, eat healthy.
Yeah,
Instead-
I remember it happened like over winter break.
Yeah.
I was at the beach and he just texted me saying like, "Hey, I lost like 50 pounds in 2 weeks." I was like, "What?"
Yeah.
How?
It was only like 20 that time, but it looked
okay.
it looked a ton. Like
Oh yeah,
I went,
definitely noticeable.
I went back to school after winter break, and everyone's like, "Whoa, Matt, did you lose weight? Oh man, that's awesome. Good job, man." And everyone was super positive about it.
You should just be like, "Nah,
Nah, I
Nah.
didn't lose weight. I actually gained weight. You just
I actually put on weight. Thanks for making me feel bad."
yeah, and then I'll just walk away crying. I remember all the rumors would go around about me, like, "Oh, Matt, he probably smokes weed because he lost weight." Because that's logical.
Yes.
What else? People said I had bulimia. Because I would use the restroom during lunch, and then they're like, "Oh man, he's
Who
throwing
didn't
up."
though?
I know.
Because like teachers would yell at you for like not using the bathroom after lunch.
Yep. Like, oh man, he's using the restroom. Obviously, he's throwing up everything
Yep.
he just ate.
Yep.
I remember,
That's the logical thing.
yeah, every lunch I would just eat like a Smucker's and like vegetables. It was great. I don't know how many lunches I had with you in that phase.
I don't think we had lunch together until senior year.
Oh yeah, the senior year lunch with
Uh,
with the Mall Cut Monday squad.
Oh man, what a lunch!
Let's take it back to middle school a little. So middle school is when we started doing fingerboarding, right?
Yes.
And for those of you listening,
Yes, it is.
fingerboarding is like tech decks basically, but fingerboarding is like the technical professional term. So basically, what?
Yes, we took it seriously.
Oh yeah, we took it very seriously. We would film our videos doing tricks and all that.
You can find
Yep, they're still
those
there.
videos somewhere.
You can find it on my channel, Matthew Agent 86 on YouTube. It's
I'm
You
not
can-
gonna give out my channel, but
you
you
can-
can find it if you go to Matt's channel.
yeah, you can have fun with those. That was all of middle school basically, and like a little into high school, I think.
A lot into high school. We did it until like sophomore year.
Yeah. So
Pretty sure.
Tech decks, that's child's play. We were investing into the wooden fingerboards with the bearing wheels and
It was
the
like the
foam
Berlin
grip,
Woods,
yeah, the Verlin ones. They would cost like to get a complete
$40.
for just the board, and then you had to get the trucks and the wheels and the bearings and all of
Oh
that.
man, you could get got an actual skateboard.
Oh yeah, easily. We probably should have gotten an actual
We
skateboard.
probably should have actually started learning to skateboard.
Because like right now I just know how to longboard, but if I knew how to
Yeah.
skateboard, that would be sweet.
Yeah.
I still have all my fingerboarding stuff. I should sell that on eBay.
If fingerboarding isn't the best form of getting around.
Yeah. Just get around town on my fingerboard, you know. I remember we'd go to like different locations and film tricks.
with our
Flip cams.
flip cams
Flip cams were iconic. What was that? Made by Cisco?
made by Cisco. No, Costco. Is it Costco or Cisco?
I think it's Cisco. I'm pretty sure it's Cisco. I remember seeing a billboard always when I drive to church about Cisco, and I'd be like, "Oh, it's my flip cam." Why did they stop making flip cams? Because I know they're not in production anymore.
What's that? I'm actually looking at it right now.
Okay.
It was shut down by Cisco.
It
was acquired by Cisco, and then I think it was because of all the smart. It says because of the smartphone stuff.
Okay. Yeah, I guess that would make sense. Smartphones are basically.
And they just.
Flip cameras.
It looks like Cisco just got it to build on more video stuff, I guess.
Oh, okay. Dude,
Yeah.
Is Cisco even like a company anymore?
I think so.
They're not relevant if that's the case, unless they got bought out.
No, they have a stock price.
Okay, well,
So they're still here.
they're there. Maybe
They
they
haven't
make
left
like
yet.
they make washing machines probably.
Probably.
Oh, and that reminds me of Circuit City. What a
Oh,
store!
man.
What a store!
I remember our Circuit City was abandoned for forever.
Yep. It was like Best Buy, but worse. Way worse.
That was. I think I went in there like once. Then I understood as soon as I went in there. I was like, "This is awful," and I was
Yeah.
like 10, so it's like, how would I know what it was like? But I
Yeah.
knew it was bad.
I got this. The only thing I can remember about Circuit City is I bought a game. It was for like my
That's what I did too.
yeah.
I just wanted to buy a game.
Yep. And I got it. It was like some racing game. It was like Cartoon Network Racing. This is a long time ago. It was for like the Game Boy. It might have been the SB, maybe Advance. I don't know. But I remember going to someone's house for some reason. It was like a family friend's house, and I just played it for like 8 hours. And every time I think about playing that game, I think of Circuit City.
It's a weird connection
Yeah.
to have.
There's also Blockbuster.
Ooh, Blockbuster was my life.
I remember Blockbuster, like, I've never been too huge into movies. I like movies, but I've never been, like, a huge movie buff. But I'd go there just for, like, the candy at the counter and, like, the stuffed animals that was based off the movies.
Yes, yeah, I got, like, I remember, this is, like, the one vivid memory I have of Blockbuster. Like, one of my favorite movies when I was little was The Iron Giant.
Yep.
I remember going to Blockbuster to rent it, and then we saw a version that you could buy, and it came with a little Iron Giant figure. So that's what I remember of Blockbuster.
Did you
So we
get
got
it?
that. Yeah, we got that instead.
Nice. Yeah, Blockbuster.
Oh, Blockbuster.
I remember I would always get the... It's like a chocolate candy with, like, white circular sprinkles on it. I don't remember what it's called. Like, snowdrop something. But those are good. If you put those in popcorn, that'd probably taste really good.
Probably.
Yeah. All right. So let's go. Do I have any memories of 8th grade, end of middle school? What was the end of middle school like?
Better than the beginning of middle school.
Definitely. But I remember all the teachers would be like, "Oh yeah, high school's gonna be so hard. You're gonna have to really focus, and you're gonna have to learn. You're gonna have to pay attention, take notes. Like you're in college, and then you get to high school."
And it's like,
Nope.
you do it for like a week because you're scared, and then you're like, oh wait,
Yep.
this is easy.
High,
Don't have to do any of that.
freshman year is the easiest year ever.
No, I thought senior year was.
Well, senior year, I guess, would be easier because we got senior release, which is basically we didn't have to take the full amount of classes, so we got out early every day. So that was nice. But class-wise, freshman classes were just so easy. I just remember sitting like in my history class with, I'm not going to give out her name, but we were sitting in there, and I would always make it a point to do all my work as fast as I can. I don't know if I just wanted to show up people or what, but I would get in that class and she'd give an assignment, and I would just bam, 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 like finish it as fast as I can, as fast as I could write, and then I'd immediately turn it in. She's like, "Wow, you're already done?" And I'm like, "Yep." She's like, "All right, you can go walk around the school for like 30 minutes," and that was a memory I have. Oh, that was good.
What class was that?
That was history.
History.
Yeah. I would give out, I guess it wouldn't matter. Keister.
I had her too.
Yeah.
Yeah. World history too.
Yep. I don't see, freshman year is sort of like a blur to me. I can barely
I
remember.
don't remember much.
Trying to think of what classes I was taking. Like, what was my English?
Biology.
Oh, I had my English teacher was Scotty's aunt. And I'm not going to give out her name just because I have more so a personal connection with her. But I had her for 2 years in a row, and she would, my papers, I feel like they were sort of, I got better grades just because she knew me and I was friends with her nephew. I remember I would write, I knew she was very religious, so I'd play to that. I'd be like, all right, write a paper about something, and I'd write about how I'd go to church and, study the Bible and all that. She'd like, oh, this is great, you get a 1,000%. Like, oh,
perfect.
Yeah, thank you. Who did you have for English?
Doctor.
Oh, Doctor. Do you have any stories about Doctor?
Oh yeah, definitely. Well, he liked to pick on me.
Okay.
For some reason, I was the one that would get called out on everything. When I wasn't doing, like, I don't pay attention in school. I just sit there.
I mean, who pays attention?
Yeah, I just sat there and zoned out.
Yep.
And so he would, like, call me out on it every time. But, like, there's, like, 50 other kids, like, on their phones.
Yep.
Like, talking to each other. And then there's just me just staring at a wall. And he was like, Noah, like, answer this.
What are you doing, Noah?
He almost ripped me up for zoning out. I was like, why? He also I almost got written up for talking back to him, which I did because he pissed me off.
Yeah.
He kept calling me out.
Yeah, I remember the only time I've ever gotten, like, when you talked about getting written up and stuff, the only time I've ever gotten in trouble at school, I remember it was 7th grade. It was lunch. And I called a kid a muffin.
Yes, I remember this.
The backstory, a lot of people would be like, we're talking to me, they're like, call him a muffin. I'm like, why? And they're just like, call him a muffin. I'm like, okay. So I turned around and I called him a muffin. And he got, like, really upset, and he went to a teacher and was like, this kid called me a muffin. And then the teacher came over here, I think it was the principal, actually, and she was like, why'd you call him a muffin? Do you see any muffins? Is he eating a muffin? Do we sell muffins in the cafeteria? I'm like, no, people just telling me. And she's like, go sit over there. And like, she made me sit at the back table where all the bad kids would sit. And I was so upset. That's the only time I've ever gotten in trouble.
The only time I got, like, in official trouble was 6th grade lunch detention for forgetting to make up a test.
Can you give detentions for forgetting to make up a test?
You could give lunch detentions.
I feel like that's.
It was more like it was a lunch detention because she made me come in during lunch to take it.
Yeah, shouldn't your grade be like a punishment enough?
Exactly.
Like, if you're just not gonna make up a test, then just have the
give
grade.
Me a 0.
It's like what they do in college. They don't care if you don't show up. It's like, you don't show up, they're like, well, you're just gonna
0.
fail. You get a 0. It's whatever. College is something.
Oof. Yeah, it is.
All right, so let's get into sophomore year. I don't think I could remember much from sophomore year either.
Sophomore year. No, but that was the year. Was that the year we had A1, B1 together?
Yes, math,
with
algebra,
Hess.
with Hess. Yeah.
Yeah.
What an iconic class.
Great class.
Didn't we have Forrest in that class? Yeah.
Do we?
Yeah, because I remember he showed a League of Legends trailer one time.
Oh yeah. Yes. I forgot that kid.
Yeah, I
How, yeah, thanks for reminding me of him.
good Forrest. But
Oh,
now,
Forrest.
now thinking of that class, I can remember that whole year I was just obsessed with League of Legends. That's what I can
We
remember.
both were.
Yeah, I remember I would sit in chemistry, and that's where I met Peter.
Yep.
And then remember we sat next to each other the entire year, like half the year, and we would always just like hand each other our papers. We never talked to each other.
Uh-huh.
And one time Austin walked in the class. He's like, and he said some LCS player for League of Legends. I was like, wait, you like League? And we looked at each other. He's like, yeah, man. Do you? I'm like, yeah. And then we started every class we'd talk about League. And he's like, hey, can I add you to our Skype call and our Skype group? And then that's how I met George and all the other nerds that I've been playing games with ever since.
Didn't you? Was that them or someone else that you like happened to get in a random game with?
That was John and Caden from that friend group,
Oh yeah.
I believe. But I wasn't there at that time. I was Peter and Austin were playing. I think it's like a Dominion Dominion match in League.
Oh, Dominion.
And they ran into like John and Caden. They were like talking, and somehow they got on a Skype call, and so that's when we know them.
Yeah. Oh,
Nah.
did you hear that they're actually shutting down Dominion?
Dude, finally, it took them long enough. Who plays Dominion?
No one. I used to play it all the time, and then I was like, wait, this is stupid.
Yeah. That's Dominion. That's
I
actually a
stopped.
good segue into when I moved to Craney Island, which is the neighborhood that you lived in.
Yes.
So
That's very personal.
yeah, but yeah, people don't know. It's Craney Island, But-
They can find Craney Island pretty easily.
yeah, they're gonna come to your house. They're gonna murder you. Hopefully, hopefully. But so I moved there, and I remember the first night we got all the furniture in and stuff, and I went straight. I played League of Legends with a trackpad. First off, let me tell people that I played League of Legends with a trackpad, and I got to gold with a trackpad. So I mean that's quite an accomplishment. I'd say of all the people who've played League of Legends with a trackpad, I was the best in the world, easily.
I think because you're also the only one.
Yeah, but that's besides the point. So
Anyone else who tries stays in bronze.
yep. I would sit like crisscross applesauce on my bed, and I'd have my laptop resting on like a laptop pad. And then the first time I played a Dominion match just to test the internet, because I was just worried about, is the internet going to be fast? Because all I do is play League, and if I can't play League, then what am I going to do with my life? So I just remember playing Tristana on Dominion that first night and just trying to test the Wi-Fi. And it was pretty good. Let's see. And so when I moved there, we were within walking distance of each other, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
I
So
walk to your house all the time.
before we were old enough to drive, we would just... Before we moved, we would always have our parents drop each other off, but now we could just walk.
Yep.
That was pretty nice.
Yeah, and then when we could drive, we just drove like 2 feet to each other's
Yep.
houses.
Basically. Yeah, I'll
So
be
I'm
over
not
there.
walking.
I'll be over there in 28 seconds.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so let's transition into junior year. Junior year. What can I remember about junior
All
year?
my high school years are like mixed together.
Yep.
I'm trying to remember which is which.
It's
junior
interesting
year.
trying to like separate them.
Yeah, junior year. Okay. Yeah, you just gotta think of what science you took that year.
Yeah, just think of the science. I don't even remember what science I took.
I took environment. We both took apes.
Oh, APES.
AP
Yep.
Environmental
AP
Science.
Environmental Science.
AP environmental science. Yeah.
I had Carter over the street. in my
Oh yeah,
class.
Carter over the street.
Yeah. So I guess I started losing weight. Was it junior year? It was.
Yeah,
It was with
junior year.
Mr. A. Junior year. It was that winter break. So
Yeah,
yeah.
because I remember you with Mr. A.
Yep.
I had the English class at the same time. Your class, your history class is right next to me.
Got
You would
it.
like walk out of the class and just walk
Yeah.
by my room all the time.
Yeah, because all right, Mr. A was the best teacher I have ever had. He is great. We'd get in there and he'd be like, "All right, let's do some work for like 10 minutes and then take a 50-minute bathroom break. Go." And we just roamed the school. Eventually, like the assistant principal got on Mr. A. He's like, "You can't have your students roaming the school. You got to teach them stuff." But Mr. A's like, "But they get all A's," and because like whenever he'd give us a quiz or a test, it would just be super easy, unless you were just completely you don't know anything about history, which is hard to do when you live in Virginia because they're like history's important. So Civil War, Confederate flags, South, white power. That's basically that's basically Virginia right there. But
pretty much.
the amount of like Confederate flags and stuff that I would see.
Boy.
It disturbs me. Like, why? Please, people.
I mean, Richmond was the Confederate capital.
Yeah.
But that was like 200 years ago.
Yep.
Yeah, so
I
don't know anymore.
And like the people in our generation, like what? Like just why? Please, what are you doing?
I remember you could be like senior year parking in the parking lot.
Yep.
You would see people hanging out by their trucks.
Yeah.
Of course, they're trucks.
Yep.
And they have like a giant. You know who I'm talking about. I'm not gonna name any names.
Yeah.
But he had his flag in the back of his truck, and
Yeah.
they would just hang out. He actually lived on my street too.
Throwing all the shade.
Throwing all the shade. Yeah.
Yeah. I remember everyone out
That
there
was
like
weird.
they're jacked up trucks and they'd have like flags in their bed, so like when they drive, it would like flow in the wind. It's like, oh please.
It's heritage, not hate.
Yeah, it's like if I had my Clementine and I got purple flames on it. that would be iconic. People would love that.
No, what you could do is put a Confederate flag over your Clementine.
Definitely. I should get a tattoo of a Confederate flag.
Yes.
Just
forehead. On your forehead.
On my forehead, yeah. Actually, on my forehead, on both my arms. My legs should just be like wrapped around with like a Confederate flag.
And then just put a giant swastika on your face.
Yeah, and then I should paint my nails. And then I should grow a Hitler stash, and then we're good.
Or like on each nail, put a swastika.
Yep.
Yeah, and then the Hitler stash. Yeah.
Yep. And then basically,
Perfect.
you're the perfect person. Everyone would love you.
Yep. Well, for some reason, they were people in Virginia like hated Hitler.
I wonder why people hate Hitler. What?
No, okay, no. Hated Hitler, but were like all about but were racist.
Yeah.
Either way, so it's like,
yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying it's bad to hate Hitler. There's a very valid reason to not like Hitler.
Yes, I hope everyone listening to this podcast despises Hitler with a fiery passion.
And he's an okay dude, you know.
Hitler and I, we go way back.
We go back, man. Oh man.
All right, so let's transition to senior year. Senior year, Mall Cap Monday.
Senior year was the best year.
Oh yeah, definitely. Because we had senior release, so we got out early.
Yep. I didn't care about school. I just cared about working.
Nope. And I didn't even do bad in my classes, because we didn't have.
I did not do well in my classes.
Oh, okay. Well, senior year was like my best year grade-wise for me for some reason, but I remember Mall Cap Monday was February.
Yep.
So let's go back to the first Mall Cap Monday. It was me, God. Quinn, and you.
Yep.
And
the original three.
Yeah, we went to our VCC mall. And we were just walking around. We were just hanging out, having a good time, walking to random stores. As you do when you go to the mall. Just an average mall adventure. And we're just walking around. I think we were at one point we looked in the parking lot and we saw stray cats, right?
Yeah.
And we saw a black one, and that one is Jebediah. He is the mascot of Mall Cap Monday. If you go on Instagram and use the hashtag Mall Cap Monday, you can find a ton of pictures that show the adventures that we have had on Mall Cap Monday. It has been a thing. It's been over a year since we started it.
True.
Yeah, we could do a
Probably just had the anniversary.
Yeah, we did. We in the group text with Travis, Quinn, and I, we did an anniversary thing.
I need a iPhone.
Yeah, but I think we could do a whole podcast based off Mall Cap Monday.
Probably.
Oh, we could easily do it. I have
There's
many
so
stories.
Many stories.
All the stories.
So many stories.
I'll tell one story right now just for a teaser as to the Mall Cap Monday podcast. That'll be next week, right. I'm assuming.
Mm-hmm.
So let's detail the story about Rhino.
All
right.
Rhino. A
So
beautiful man.
so
Actually, I
one
never saw a rhino.
yeah, you weren't there. It was just Travis, Quinn, and I.
I saw him driving around. I never
Yeah,
saw him though.
yeah, all right. So we were just driving through this neighborhood. On Malcolm Monday, we just like to drive around and talk and just drive to random places. It sounds weird, but it was fun, and we'd like do random things or whatever. So we were just driving through this neighborhood, and we were headed to the back. There's a park back there, and so you have to go through, pass through houses and like a cul-de-sac. So I was just driving down. I was going 20, maybe 19 miles an hour. It's the neighborhood, so the speed limit's 25 miles an hour. So I'm just driving. I look up ahead, and I see a dude in the road and like three little girls, and they're like playing. And so I slow down, and the girls get out of the road, but the dude stays and like gets in front of my car. And so I swerve around him. I'm like really confused, like, whoa, what is he doing? And he's like shaking his fist and he's like yelling at me. And so I go and I park. We go to the park and then we come back and I'm driving up and he's still there. And they're playing in the street. And again, the girls move out of the road. But this time the dude basically stops my car. I rolled down the window just because he was like yelling at me just to see what he said. He's like, what? I was like, what? He's like, what? You can't go that fast. Like, he just freaked out on me. Like, I was going like 50 miles an hour when I was going like 15 because I was going up a hill, so I was going even slower. He's just like yelling, freaking out at me. What? Like, that was basically what he said to me. So we drive off, and we're just like laughing and like making fun of this rhino guy as we're driving away. And then every Monday we sort of just we came back, and I do not condone this type of activity, but we would we'd pull up outside his house, we would honk, we'd lay on the horn. We would get traffic cones, we'd like put them behind his car, so when he'd like pull out in the morning, he'd like run over the traffic cone. And we do tons of stupid stuff like that just because Rhino. He also had an orange.
Don't you do like a silly string?
Yeah, I'm getting to that.
Oh, okay.
And so he had an orange Jeep, and it was iconic, so we'd always drive by and we'd look for his car. And it would get to a point where he would see my car, and he'd recognize us, and like, we'd drive by, and he would just like, if he was holding something in his hands, he would just like drop it. His facial expression would just like straighten out. He'd be like super serious, and he'd just like give us the death stare. And so we'd like loop around, and we'd like honk, and he'd get so upset. And like, every time we drive by, sometimes those girls would be out there, and they even recognize our car. They'd be like, oh, and they'd like whisper, it's the orange car. It's the orange car. Look at it. Look at it. It's the one car that our dad hates. He's gonna kill him. He's gonna shoot him. But, and so they'd always see us. And so this became a whole thing. And then eventually, somehow it escalated. We were at our local Walmart grocery store. And Travis saw silly string. So obviously his first thing that comes to his mind is, I'm gonna take this silly string and we're gonna silly string Rhino's car. I'm like, Travis, you can't do that. And we're like, come on, man, stop being a scrub. And that is your nickname, and we'll get to that in a minute. And so we're driving to Rhino, so I'm like, we can't silly string his whole car. Let's just do the handle, because when he goes to open the car, he'll just get it on his hand, and he won't be too upset. And we also stopped, and we got a traffic cone, and we put it behind his car. So when he put his hand on the handle, he'd get silly string on his hand, open the car, he'd be really sort of, oh, those kids, oh, they got me again. And he'd get in the car, and he'd start backing up, and then he'd hit the cone, and then he'd just be done. And so I'm guessing that's exactly what happened, because the next night, I hear a knock on our door, and, well, I'm just playing League in my room, so my dad answers it, and all of a sudden I hear them, Matt, and they're like really yelling my name, like, and I was in the middle of a league match, so obviously I can't be disturbed when I'm playing League.
I was in that match too.
Oh yeah, you were in that match.
And I heard everything on the Skype call.
Yep. And so they were calling my name. I was like, oh, I should probably go. This sounds kind of serious. Like, the cops are here. I'm like, okay. So I walked down and I started talking to the cop. He's like, so I got a complaint saying that you silly string someone's car, and you've been like putting traffic cones, and like people he says people have been honking outside of his house. Would you know anything to do with this? And at this point I was like, I didn't know what to do. I was like flustered because it was the first time talking to a cop, so I was like, wait, what? What'd you say? And he like repeated it, and like my dad's like giving me the stare, like, if you lie right now, like That's the end. He's like, yep, that was definitely us. He's like, was anyone else in the car with you? And at this point, I'm like, I don't want to be a snitch, but my dad knows exactly that Travis and Quinn were in the car. So I'm like, I can't lie. I'm like, yep, my 2 friends were in the car. He's like, can you tell me where they live? And I was like, yeah. And so I pulled up their addresses and gave him their first and last name. And he's like, all right, thank you. And he's like, basically, it was an older guy. He's like, he's probably just old and grumpy, and just try and stay away from his house. You don't honk. If that was you, don't honk out there. And silly string's not vandalism. It's just because it's not permanent. But if you did something worse than that, I'd have to, like, give you a ticket or a fine or whatever. But he's like, you didn't do anything illegal technically, so you're fine. Just don't go near his house ever again. And so I was like, deal. So
he broke that deal fast.
yeah. So I'm like, deal. And then I run upstairs because the cop's leaving at this point, or he's just talking to my dad. And I run upstairs and I start texting Quinn and Travis because I gave them their address. I'm like, guys, cop showed up at my door. He questioned me about Rhino. They're like, what? No, are you kidding, Matt? You can't be serious, Matt. Stop lying. Are you lying? You can't be playing a joke right now. I'm like, guys, a cop came and I gave them your address. Like, you're a snitch, Matt. Why would you give him our address? I'm like, I can't lie. My dad was right there. He's gonna know I'm lying, and I'm not just gonna lie straight to a cop. He's like, oh, you're a snitch. But all right, what are we gonna say? What are we gonna say? So they start like talking about what they're gonna say. They're like, Matt, what did you say at first? So I gave him the rundown and of how we didn't do anything illegal and it'll be okay. And he's like, Quinn's freaking out for some reason. Like Travis is definitely freaking out because his parents, they would give him a talking, but the cops never ended up going to their houses, and they just interrogated me. And so now I'm the only one who is... But we've ran into the cops a few times on Small Cat Mondays.
Oh,
Not really our faults. That one might have been, but other than that, like, we hadn't done anything illegal to get the cops called on us. The other ones were just like, one time...
Wrong place, wrong time.
Yeah, wrong place, wrong time.
But, like, we weren't doing anything wrong. It was just...
Yeah.
It looked wrong.
Yeah.
It looked suspicious. But those are other stories.
Yeah, we can tell the stories in the next podcast. So before we end this podcast, I want to talk about your nickname being Scrub.
Yeah.
All right. So on Mallcat Monday, we drive basically all around Richmond and Mechanicsville, which is the area Mallcat Monday sort of takes place, even though it's a universal thing. But so
universal.
Basically, we know this area inside and out. Like every road, every back road, every little thing about this area we know. And so like there'd be 2 exits of like a grocery store, and if you take one exit, you're a scrub, but you take the other exit, you're good, you're clean. And so there's like rules like that. If you make a U-turn, you're a scrub, but if you make like a 3-point turn in the middle of the road, or you go and you park and you keep going, then you're good. So we had a bunch of scrub rules, and Noah's name is Scrub because he would always break the scrub rule book. Always. He would do the most scrubby things. Like, anything you could think of that was in the scrub rule book, I'll detail it more in the next podcast, but any rule we would make, you'd just break it.
It's my life.
What was your perspective? How did you feel about this whole scrub thing?
I didn't like it at first, but then I decided it wasn't going to change, so I just embraced it.
Yeah, it grew on you?
No, it didn't grow on me. I just embraced it.
Okay. Yeah, eventually you just accepted it, and you were just like... Did you start doing scrub things just to spite us?
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
Oh.
I remember we would always, like, race places, and then we'd always, like, try and get there first, and then we'd go into the store, and then we wouldn't see each other, so we'd, like, debate who would get there first. And I know I got here first, but somehow you got there first or something. I don't know. It was a whole thing. It's like, there's no way you got there first. No way. No. Still to this day, I got there first.
I got there first.
No. Stop kidding yourself. All right, so now we transition into college. So, what college are you at, Scrub?
I'm at... Where am I? I'm at George Mason.
That took you a little bit.
Oh, I wanted to grab my ID card. I was gonna show
okay.
it.
Okay, yeah. Okay. I guess I could show my ID card, too.
I'll cover any numbers you have on there, but...
Yeah, true.
It's not a good picture of myself.
And so, George Mason is in the Fairfax, D.C. area?
Yeah, pretty close to D.C.
All right. So how do you like it there?
It's nice. It's raining now, but it's nice.
How has your freshman college experience been thus far?
Well, first semester, I kind of forgot that grades mattered.
Mm-hmm.
So that didn't go so. First semester didn't go so well, grades
Okay,
wise.
solid, yeah.
This semester is so much better.
Yep.
Straight A's so far. Let's keep it that way.
All
Plan
right.
on keeping it that way.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
All right, so.
But there have been definitely some social aspects that have been
Mm-hmm.
crazy.
What have been your go-to extracurricular activities?
You mean I'm supposed to do stuff?
Yeah. Okay, you just said.
I mean,
Are you in any clubs?
I technically yeah, but they don't have any like meetings or anything, so it's really weird. But I mean, what I do most of the time, I play music, make music.
Yep.
That's pretty much my main thing.
Solid.
So it's either that or video games.
And so
And I'll sometimes go out into DC with friends.
Yeah. So you're getting back into the. Are you gonna get back into the swing of making more music and stuff, like recording?
Oh yeah, I'm definitely working on that. I'm trying to get like a bunch of stuff set up.
Yep.
So that way it'll be a lot easier for me. But it is definitely I have some projects in the works.
So. All right. And so I can plug you on my channel too.
Yeah,
whenever.
plug me.
So we'll be in cohorts.
Sponsor.
Cahoots. Yeah. Sponsor. And this podcast is getting a little long right now, so I'm gonna say what college I go to, and then I think we're gonna end it here. So basically, we're from Virginia, but I go to college at South Dakota State University, Jackrabbits. And the story behind that, I'll save that for another day because it's a funny story. But basically, it's really cheap to go here, which is why I'm here. It's a lot cheaper. And it's been interesting moving from the East Coast to the Midwest. There's lots of snow. There's negative 30-degree temperatures and fire alarms at 2 a.m. So you have to walk outside and stand.
Oh, don't. We have fire alarms at 4 a.m.
Yeah, but it's not negative 30 degrees outside.
I mean, it was like 0 degrees.
It's different. It's different. You want to die literally walking outside here. When it hits like 10 degrees, you're like, oh, thank goodness, it's good. Oh. But when it's like
you wear shorts.
Yeah, it'll be like in the negatives for like a week, and then and then when we walk outside, it's 10 degrees. Like, oh, it's pretty warm today, and like people take off their jackets, and like your body just gets used to it, so it's normal. However, if that happened in LA, people would think you're crazy.
Yeah.
All right, so I think that's where I'm gonna leave off this podcast. I want to thank everyone for listening to the For Further Details podcast. Anything you would like to say, Scrub?
Yeah, thanks for listening.
You got any
/
plugs?
watching?
You got any plugs?
Plugs?
Like
I do have. I mean, again, my. You can put in the description, whatever. My electronic music account, Logistic, and an upcoming project I'm working on with another friend, another music collaboration called Escaping Gravity.
Okay.
Which I'll give you the link.
Okay, I will put those in the description for the video and the SoundCloud. I think I'm gonna make a separate SoundCloud for our podcast specifically, so we can re-blog it or whatever on our individual SoundClouds. And you can find me at Matthew Hedgehog on Twitter. If you like reality TV, you can find me at Reality Hedges on Twitter. My YouTube channel is just Matthew Hedges. You can search for that. And thank you guys for listening, and see you next week.
See ya.